Good morning. I would like to welcome Lieutenant Todd Allen with the Madison County Sheriff's Office this morning. Todd's here with me to kind of talk about our Madison County Blueprint for Safety, which is a program that we implemented several years ago to address the crime of domestic violence in Madison County more effectively. A program that hopefully is more victim friendly and based on evidence collection rather than victim testimony. So thanks, Todd, for being here. I
Thanks for having me.
appreciate that. So, Todd, can you tell me how the implementation of the Blueprint for Safety has influenced you and the folks at the Sheriff's Department when you are responding to domestic violence cases?
Well, when you brought up victim friendly, I think the thing that we try to focus on is ultimately to hopefully have a victim less prosecution, to make that as easy on the victim as possible. So we really, like you said, do more with evidence collection, photographs, interviews, stuff at the scene. We've implemented some questionnaires that we just dig a little deeper than the normal, hey, let's go answer this call. Because what happens a lot of times in the past is if the victim changed her mind or didn't want to participate in a prosecution, really that case went nowhere. And I think through education and training, we understand the reasons why victims may at some point not to want to pursue a prosecution. So it's really kind of made us do more police work, and look at it as a investigation rather than just a call for service.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you say that because oftentimes when we're talking about victims, those cases are super messy. And when victims historically return to their abusers over and over again, I know that can be very frustrating for the police. It's certainly frustrating for us as well. But have you noticed that since you're looking at cases from an investigation standpoint and you're understanding why victims might not leave right away or why they may sometimes recant their testimony, has it changed the culture of the way officers at the Sheriff's Department look at victims? Like sometimes, it can be very frustrating.
I think so. I think, we all have had those points in our career where we became very frustrated with victims because we want to do what's right. We want to protect victims and we need their participation in a prosecution. Well, working with the Blueprint and we've gotten equipment, justified equipment purchases as far as recorders for all our deputies, cameras for all our deputies. So really with that work at the scene with photographs and interviews that happen right then, it takes the place of having to keep contacting the victim over and over again and counting on them, not just to survive that domestic violence incident, but like you said, they have to many times count on that perpetrator for financial and support with living arrangements. So it really takes the pressure off of them, and we're the bad guys. The police are the bad guys. We're the ones pushing the prosecution and not the victims.
Yeah, I agree. Whenever you have evidence, it takes a lot of, I think, frustration out of the process because you don't have to rely on somebody who really doesn't want to be involved in the court system. So that's fantastic. Now, part of my favorite activity with the Blueprint is our quarterly meetings, our team meetings where we come together and we review cases. Do you feel like reviewing those cases makes us stronger as a team in the community, and how do you think that holds us accountable to maintaining that Blueprint standard?
That again, I agree with you. That's one of my favorite parts because I think from my perspective as the representative for the Sheriff's Office, I hear what other local agencies are doing and some of the insight that they have and how they're investigating domestic violence, and I'm plagiarizing what they do. So it's really a good way to hear what other agencies have had success in doing, what other policies or procedures they've implemented that is working for them. Also, I think it makes what we do here locally across the law enforcement spectrum more uniform. We have at least half a dozen law enforcement agencies in this jurisdiction, and so I think having it's sort of similar on how we all do this. Is helpful when it gets to that point to go to a prosecutor. And also I think it's good we hold each other accountable. We all trust each other, and if there's a problem with the case, I think it creates a better product because we have all this input on, hey, you might have done this, or what about this? And so I really think that it's improved the product that we present to the prosecutors.
I agree. Truly, in all of our Blueprint team, when we meet, it's great to have all of the minds in the room, you know, because you get a prosecution perspective as well, because if you've got something that we haven't collected enough evidence for, you've got the prosecutor saying, hey, I need this, and it's just a safe environment for us to do that. So thank you very much. I appreciate you being here and letting us pick your brain on a Tuesday afternoon. So thank you so much for that. If anyone is interested in learning more about the Madison County Blueprint for Safety, you can go to Hope Swings website. It's hopeswings.org and click on the Blueprint for Safety tab, and you can read all about it. I personally am proud that we are a Blueprint for Safety community, because I feel like it's another part of our county that makes us a safer community. So if you want to check that out, go to our website. Todd, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.